All right, what's up guys? In this video, I got to try out the new Diadem Vice. You guys will actually get a little bit of a sneak peek of what it's like when I am testing paddles for the first time. We basically just mic'd all of us up and then hit the paddle and let the camera roll. So you kind of get a behind the scenes look at what our first impressions usually look like of a paddle. Now, really quick before we dive into the video, I want to cover a couple things because there's probably a lot of you who have absolutely no idea what this paddle is. Essentially, Diadem held this conference called Diacon where they announced this concept paddle. And now keep that word in mind, concept paddle. They talked about how this is going to be the most revolutionary paddle in pickleball. People are going to look back on this day and say that's the day pickleball changed. They were comparing it to iPhone when that launched. All these different things, saying it's 5 years ahead of the competition. What is really interesting about this paddle, because during the event, they kept calling it a concept paddle, several times hinting that it was not going to be approved, but they never flat out said it. It sounds like this paddle is never going to get approved. It sounds like they don't even have intentions of submitting it for approval. I don't have that 100% fact from Diadem themselves, but the people I've been talking to are generally very trustworthy, so I trust their opinion on that. And when you look at the specs of this thing, there really is no way it gets approved. It has holes all over the face. It's using EVA foam as a core, which has been a banned material in the past. Yes, you can use it in combination with a polymer core, but the entire core of this paddle is EVA foam. So that's problematic because the deflection of the paddle is greater than what USAP allows. So no, this will not be a legal paddle that you'll be able to use. Also, it's a $225 paddle, and essentially they're saying, oh, well, you can just use this in rec play, which is the majority of the pickleball players. Yes, that's true, but also, no one really wants to have a paddle that they can't use in a tournament. So I find that the market that this is for is very small, in my opinion. I don't know many people who are going to pay $225 for a paddle they can't compete with, and people may tease them a little bit about using an illegal paddle or whatever. So that's kind of an interesting thought. But yeah, other than that, we'll have a podcast episode out tomorrow where we talk more about this paddle. This was actually before I got to hit the paddle, so some of the things I say may be a little outdated in there, but we do discuss the whole thing a little more in depth. But otherwise, enjoy the video.
Whoa! Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's weird.
That's a weird sound.
That sound, it's really damp. That's really weird.
Do you feel like...
It feels like you're hitting foam.
I was gonna say, do you feel any feedback in your hand?
Barely.
Seriously,
No, that's like the softest paddle I've ever hit, for sure.
I was gonna say,
Like, it's super quiet.
it's so quiet. It's the silent.
All right, there's a free body bag.
Silent killer.
Okay, it feels really different. It's super soft. I can see why they say it's probably good for your arm. There's like hardly any vibration. All right, the spin there wasn't that nasty. Back up, let me hit some ground strokes. It hits hard for feeling so soft. Oh, okay, so the spin's not that broken.
Oh my gosh, it's seriously. Wow. Dude, it's so fast.
All right, let's play some actual 2v1.
Hey, fun fact, the serve was out.
It's so weird. It's the softest thing I've ever hit, but it comes off so fast. 3, 6, 1.
dang. Should let that one go.
Oh! Zeros.
Nice shot. I wasn't messing that one up.
Needs to be thicker though.
Zeros.
What the heck?
It's weird, isn't it? 2s. Or 1-0. Aye.
Holy crap.
Control the power.
No! I'm pathetic. How does it feel?
It's hard to control. I've kind of figured it out how it works, but
Hard to control, why?
you just have to be careful.
It's what?
You have to be careful.
What?
You hit it, if you're like not, it's like the 002.
Oh, what, sweet spot?
No, if you're not paying attention, it goes.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, it's so poppy. It just bing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's gone.
Swing that hard.
Oh, almost.
That would have been nuts. I don't know why I jumped. It's interesting. Very springy. Like,
It is kind of springy.
you definitely need to use a lot less force. Like, especially on volleys, you can just you barely touch it and it just launches. Oh, wait, like that.
I think one of the problems it has is the ball's coming off so fast that it's not gritty enough to actually pull it down before it passes the court.
Yeah, I could maybe see that.
It's got too much speed.
I kind of like dinking with it.
It does feel good to dink with.
Wrist. Look at that. That thing was flying.
I don't know. That was pretty good.
Like, if you just emphasize your wrist movement, you really use your wrist, and the ball is just, I've never hit a ball this hard. Hey.
It's boy.
Heck.
Had no idea it was coming over. Resets feel good. Face is actually pretty lively the whole way through.
It's
not bad.
Foam.
Woo! Yeah, I mean, it comes off fast.
Hey, too much.
Lead tape probably would make this kind of interesting. Hands, it feels really good. It's balanced well.
It comes so fast.
Yeah, this goes pretty quick.
Aiming like a rocket. Shoot.
Okay.
It's very interesting. Tough to get used to. You cannot have a upward face angle at all, otherwise the ball is launching. It's very soft, yet very springy, so you get a ton of speed off the face of the paddle. You get okay spin, it's nothing crazy. Honestly, the other paddles that are way better with spin, but if you use an emphasized wrist movement, it's nuts. I've never seen a paddle have so much speed off the face. And yeah, drives were really good. Dinking, had to get used to it, but eventually got really good. My favorite part, tweeners were the best.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was very poppy. It took a few shots to get used to. If you drive the ball and it's first time, it's going out. Like full power, it's going into that court. Resets were okay, dinking was okay, it's really fast. Spin, you really can't tell because it's just going too fast, pops out the paddle too fast. If I brushed up on it, I could get a bit, but like serves, if I was hitting it regularly, it was baseline every time. So it was good for the serve. Is it revolutionary? No. If they approve it, it'll be weird, you know, but I don't know, I wouldn't use it. It's not that good.
All right, so we got to play with this for a while, and it's definitely interesting. The very first hit, you can tell it's super soft. It's not like a ping pong paddle, but it's much closer to a ping pong paddle now than the other pickleball paddles were. It feels very soft, resets, dinking. It actually feels really good. I love how this thing feels, but also what's really weird, power doesn't even feel like the right word. They described it as speed, and I feel like that's accurate. When you go to kill this thing, like the ball just comes off this thing like a rocket. But because it feels so soft when you hit, it doesn't feel kind of like an Electrum Pro 2 or a Power Air where it feels like hard when you hit the ball. It feels very soft and then the ball just launches off like a rocket. So it's a very interesting feel. There's not really any paddles, there's definitely not any paddles that feel like this thing at all. Spin was interesting. I feel like if you used your wrist, you could really kind of get some interesting spin, but I also feel like there are paddles that are legal right now that I felt I got more ridiculous spin with, so I would need a little bit more time to mess with it, run some RPM tests, but spin didn't initially feel weird. Maybe that's just because you have to adjust your play style a little bit, got to use a little bit more wrist, which I'm not used to using, kind of like a tennis racket or something. But yeah, that was interesting. Is it the most revolutionary paddle in pickleball? Absolutely not, I don't think so. They claim this is 5 years ahead of everyone in the competition. I've talked to a couple engineers since this have come out, and EVA foam has actually been experimented with in pickleball before. Babolat paddles have EVA foam in the core. They're not entirely made of EVA foam like this is. So it's been done before. I believe I've heard that full entire EVA foam cores have also been done in the past. This is what Padel uses. This is how they make all their paddles. They have holes in them, or rackets, I guess. They have holes in them, EVA foam core. So I don't know, revolutionary is a stretch. I think a lot of companies could make this right now. If they didn't care about legality, they could make this thing right now. I think they'd have no issues doing that. So revolutionary is a bit of a stretch, but this is definitely the most unique pickleball paddle on the market right now. There's absolutely nothing that feels like it. I think it's a lot of fun to use. I was a little worried that if the spin was busted, that if you showed up to a court with this, people would complain that it's like a cheater paddle, like a carbon. I actually don't think most people would have that reaction. Are most people gonna buy a $225 paddle that they can only use in rec? Highly doubt it, to be honest. But I can't really see people complaining. Like I said, it's quiet, it's fun to use, it feels good. I will say the claim they made about it being the most arm-friendly paddle on the market, that's probably true. I actually felt like it was really nice on my arm. You didn't feel a lot of vibration off this. The weight and balance is really good. Yeah, I don't know. That's most of what I think of it. I think it's a very interesting paddle. I personally wouldn't buy it for $225, but I applaud Diadem for trying something new. I'm very curious to see what you guys bring over to your V2 versions of the other paddles. But yeah, I don't know. Those are kind of my first thoughts on it. So I'll maybe do some stuff later and let you guys know. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.